Parish family, today's devotion, today is the third day of Lent. This is Father Panteleimon. And today I want to do something a little different for my devotion. It's something that's important, really. I think it's really, honestly, I think it's something that's central to Lent and Orthodoxy. And to be honest with you, this is not something I knew as a kid growing up. This is probably something I learned like when I was in my 20s. Which I really should have learned as a kid growing up, but my kids are learning it. So this is something that we do in my house at night and not in the morning, but I do it in the morning. And everyone's scattered in the morning. And what the thing is it's a prayer commonly known as the prayer of Saint Ephrem the Syrian. So Saint Ephrem lived in the 4th century. He was a monastic. I think he was eventually made a deacon. He was really a poet, which meant really that he wrote hymns, church hymns. And he wrote a lot of church hymns. He was extremely prolific. But the one thing he wrote that I want to talk about today is this one prayer. It's called the Prayer of Saint Ephrem the Syrian. And it's actually a prayer that is prescribed to be done a lot during Great Lent. And it's really only prescribed during Lent. In fact, honestly, I would say for those who are literate in the faith, the prayer of Saint Ephrem, if you were to ask, for 5 things that sort of comprise Great Lent, they would say, fasting and, purple services, dark, and they might very well say the prayer of Saint Ephrem. It is a central part of the prayer of Lent. So what I want to do is I want to share with you what the prayer is. And actually, there's some items under this video in the notes on the YouTube stuff that you can look at. I have there actually 2 very good talks by a theologian on the prayer of Saint Ephrem, which are excellent. I listen to them every Lent. Like one of my routines the first week of Lent is to listen to both of these talks because they're great and they just really open up the theology of this prayer. And also I have down there a version of the prayer, which is the version there's different translations because it was really, we have it in Greek, and so obviously it's translated and words can be translated in different ways. So I have my translation in the notes below. And so what I want to do now is I want to actually just tell you what the prayer is. I'm just going to say the prayer. And then I want to show you how we actually do the prayer. Because unlike a lot of the prayers in the church, this is a prayer that actually happens with full prostrations where we bow all the way to the ground and we touch our forehead on the ground. It's part of, so there's kind of this psychosomatic body and soul component to the prayer. So I'm going to tell you the prayer and then I'm going to show you how it's done. So the prayer is very simply, Lord and Master of my life, do not give to me the spirit of sloth, vain curiosity, lust for power, and idle talk. Give instead to your servant the spirit of chastity, humility, patience, and love. Yes, Lord and King, grant me to see my own failings and not to judge my brother, for you are blessed to the ages of ages. Amen. That's the prayer. And now I'm going to show you how we do it. So there's a way we do it, and listen and follow. And I would encourage you, I guess all of this to say that I would encourage you to put this in your prayer rule. And by the way, this is not done on weekends. It's only done technically Monday through Friday of Great Lent. It's not done on the weekends because the weekends, as I said, I think 2 talks ago, are more festive. And this is sort of a Lenten, more somber prayer, so to speak. So here's how we do it. All right, follow me. I'm going to zoom down a little bit here. All right, so here's how the prayer is done. We stand before our icon, and here we go. So there's technically 4 full prostrations, and then in the middle of it, we do 12 small bows from the waist, blessing ourselves. You'll see. So here's how it goes. Lord and Master of my life, do not give to me the spirit of sloth, vain curiosity, lust for power, and idle talk. Give instead to your servant the spirit of chastity, humility, patience, and love. Yes, Lord and King, grant me to see my own failings and not to judge my brother, for you are blessed unto the ages of ages. Amen. And at this point, we do those 12 small prostrations, saying, God be merciful, Lord have mercy on me, the sinner. I think it's God be merciful. Lord have mercy, God be gracious to me, the sinner. God be gracious to me, the sinner, and have mercy on me. God be gracious to me, the sinner, and have mercy on me. God be gracious to me, the sinner, and have mercy on me. God be gracious to me, the sinner, and have mercy on me. God be gracious to me, the sinner, and have mercy on me. God be gracious to me, the sinner, and have mercy on me. God be gracious to me, the sinner, and have mercy on me. God be gracious to me, the sinner, and have mercy on me. God be gracious to me, the sinner, and have mercy on me. God be gracious to me, the sinner, and have mercy on me. God be gracious to me, the sinner, and have mercy on me. God be gracious to me, the sinner, and have mercy on me. So it's God be gracious to me, the sinner, and have mercy on me. And then, once we've done that 12 times, we repeat the prayer, and we only do one prostration at the end. Lord and Master of my life, do not give to me the spirit of sloth, vain curiosity, lust for power, and idle talk. Give instead to your servant the spirit of chastity, humility, patience, and love. Yes, Lord and King, grant me to see my own failings and not to judge my brother, for you are blessed to the ages of ages. Amen. And that is the prayer of Saint Ephrem the Syrian. And I encourage you to do two things. One is to include that in your, at a minimum, it would be good if you can have it in your morning prayers, and then do it again in your evening prayers. If you can do it more, you're certainly free to do that. And if you have kids or grandkids, children, grandchildren in the house, to do it with them, because this is how we sort of absorb the mindset of the church. These prayers literally contain within them sort of how an Orthodox person thinks, right? So the more we do them, the more we gain that perspective, right? As St. Paul says, we gain what he calls the mind of Christ, right? So the more we do these things, the more we gain the mind of Christ. So I hope that helped, and I hope that you will move forward in Lent. If you aren't already doing the prayer of St. Ephrem, that you will begin today. Have a good day. God bless.